I wanted to talk about Ottessa Moshfegh's Homesick for Another World. It's been a long time coming. In case some introduction to Ottessa Moshfegh for people who don't know her. She was a Brown graduate. She wrote the more famous My Year Rest and Relaxation, which I did a book review on, and if you haven't seen it, you should go check it out. She's definitely a pretty controversial writer. She's pretty hot right now. I think she's pretty popular or becoming pretty popular among the so-called girl bloggers, the girlies, so to speak. I think Ottessa Moshfegh's book, My Year Rest and Relaxation, was among the earlier pieces of media that were sort of going in that direction. So Homesick for Another World. I read this after I read My Year Rest and Relaxation, so I kind of had definitely had a lot of expectations for it. And I wouldn't say I was disappointed, but I wouldn't say that I enjoyed it as much as I did My Year Rest and Relaxation. I'm gonna look up which one came first. So yeah, My Year Rest and Relaxation it was published in 2018. So Homesick for Another World actually came out the year prior in 2017. The genre listed is psychological fiction. Yeah, I guess My Year Rest and Relaxation also says it's psychological fiction. I guess I would say that it's that. It's definitely fiction. And it's definitely heavy with psychology. So the book is basically a compilation of short stories. Some are longer than the others. I believe some were 4 pages max. They were really, really short, whereas some were just longer. And what's interesting about them is that there was almost no common thread that I could see between and all the stories. All these people just feel disjointed with their environment, which is probably where the title comes from, Homesick for Another World. Yeah, some of the stories were definitely better than others. Some of my favorite stories included the first one. I thought slumming was good. One thing I will say about this book, one of the reasons that I didn't really like it was that it was definitely more grotesque than anything in My Year Rest and Relaxation. She went there. She went to dark places, and you find it kind of ballsy because normally it's male authors that tend to write these horrible stories, but she's a woman doing it from a woman's perspective. There's definitely this feeling that it's not just men who have these sort of grotesque thoughts, it's also women. This is also tied in with My Year Rest and Relaxation, because My Year Rest and Relaxation is also very depressing. I wouldn't say grotesque. It does reach there, but it doesn't get to the point that it does in Homesick for Another World. Homesick for Another World contains things it talks about race, it talks about drugs. It is hard to maintain some level of consistency, but I felt Homesick for Another World was really inconsistent. You really didn't know what you were gonna get, and some of the stories I was just okay, was the point just to be as bleak as possible, or was there a point, a deeper message behind it? And you kind of get the feeling that the author is not really interested in deeper messages necessarily, more shock value, because I also felt My Year Rest and Relaxation was definitely going towards there's a train. My Year Rest and Relaxation was definitely going more towards a specific meaning and direction, But for Homesick for Another World, it was like you didn't even get the character growth. You just got like this is their life, this is their bleak thoughts, and then end. It is really good writing, though, I will say, because Ottessa moshfegh is really good at characterization, and like with each story it was a new, completely new character, and you were almost like surprised every single time that like the character changed, because they were so like psychologically different and they came from all different like walks of life. I did like that part of it. But other than that, I was literally like, this is the like this like I was like sad reading it, and I was like, this literally just makes me feel bad, and not in a bad like, oh it's so bad, but it's so like good and like true, and it feels like revenge to be reading this, like how I felt during my year of rest and relaxation. This one just felt like, oh yeah, I can kind of see that, like that just sucks about society. And then like nothing. One thing I will say though is that when she like tries, like when she's like characterizing like the poorer characters who are supposed to be pointedly poor and not just like middle class, like she kind of writes their dialogue too formally. I feel like if you're actually in that situation, you wouldn't be talking like that. You wouldn't be talking like, I guess, like a brown graduate. Like she tries to capture a lot of different characters, but there's only so much that she can from her perspective. Like she did like go to a like prestigious university to study specifically writing. People from like these higher socioeconomic backgrounds like being the only ones able to write stuff like this and like have it be really popular. It is kind of frustrating. Everyone's a little bit responsible for it. Or maybe nobody is. I don't know. It makes me tired to like even think about. But yeah, I guess I just needed to mention that. Need to acknowledge it. Out of 10, I would probably give it a solid 5.5. So I feel like 5 is like a mid book. It's like the most neutral book ever. It's not bad, it's not good. Maybe 5.5 is too low for that then. I'd give it a solid 6. Not good. No, or maybe, I don't know, because like some of the stories were so good, but some of them I was like, but even the bad stories were still well written. Okay, fine. 7.5. Don't shoot me. 7.5. Nope. 7.5. Okay. So yeah, that was my little tangent, little spiel, so to speak. Goodbye.